Yes, I just wanted to let you know firstly that the recording, this session is going to be recorded, and that you are going to get the video of it probably next week when we trim it and so on. Your cameras are off, your microphones should be off as well. So the Q&A will happen at the end, and you can put your questions. There is this special Q&A option in Zoom, or you can just write it in the chat. We will address it at the end of the meeting. At HERIFORGE Hubs, and if you don't get a chance to get your questions answered, you can email us as well. And in terms of agenda, my colleague Anna is here supporting me, but unfortunately she had a problem with her microphone. So we need innovation. It's us against the machine. So thank you for being here. Then my colleague Mikołaj Nepenglinovsky will introduce the project on behalf of the coordinator of this project. I will then explain about the conditions of the open call, so the eligibility, how we organize the selection process, and also what we offer during the support program. And then we're going to go into the details of the different challenges that you need to address in the open calls. And again, Mikołaj is going to present the Polish hub. And then we have Christis Alexandrou here from the Cyprus Institute, who will explain the challenge from Cyprus. And from Turkey, we have two different challenges, and we have my colleague Yvonne Bensason and Evren Yantat, I think if I'm pronouncing it well, who is going to also explain the two different challenges from Turkey. I will then explain in more detail how to apply, so just the different steps, because there's a couple of them, although the application form that we use is quite intuitive and simple. And then we will have the Q&A towards the end. As I said, if your case is very specific and you don't want to divulge all kind of like personal details, you can email us, and we will look into it on a more private basis as well. And hopefully we will finish by 3 p.m. We don't want to keep you too long here. So without further ado, I will move on to explaining, I will pass the voice to Mikołaj about the HERIFORGE project.
I'm Mikołaj Węgrzynowski, and I'm representing PSNC, and I'm project manager of the HERIFORGE project. And I would like to shortly describe what the project is about and all the key facts about the project. And so the HERIFORGE, so the cultural heritage and immersive technologies for innovation forge. That's the tagline of our project. And we are consortium of 14 partners from 3 countries, from Poland, Cyprus, and Türkiye. And our project started in December last year and will last for 36 months, so 3 years. And the most important information for today is that we have 600,000 euros for cascade grants in 2 rounds of open calls, and so that's the digits of our project. And going next about the project. So the project, as I said, is implemented by 14 organizations, 14 partners from 3 countries, and these in each of these countries we have a hub of organizations that are built in the model of quadruple helix. So we have in each hub a representative of academia, we have representative of businesses, and we have also government and community organizations. And we can see here the acronyms of the organizations, but that's the model that we applied to for this project. and our main objectives are following. So we would like to develop a strategy to promote and stimulate cultural heritage-driven transformations, and we would like also to execute a research and innovation project that would have some market potential, and to support development of these tools, because the project is about to create a network of hubs. So we have these three countries where we have hubs that are collaborating and with business stakeholders, with GLAM institutions, and we would like to create a network that is connected, that communicates, that shares ideas and experiences between them, so that everybody can function better. So we would also like, by organizing these open hubs, to create a business opportunities for small and medium enterprises, for startups, and leverage them to stimulate the innovation in this domain. Also, of course, we would also communicate and disseminate our activities, so that, and also collaborate with other initiatives like Daria or Daria initiative. So having defined these objectives, we have also defined the key exploitable results that what we would like to achieve during this project. And first, we started our project by by ecosystem mapping and the landscape analysis. So we took a look on the stakeholders that we have in our ecosystems, the companies, the institutions that are involved or would like to be involved in this collaboration between the cultural heritage and business, for business institutions. And we interviewed them to get some insight about their problems, about their needs. And we also took a look on the legislation, how is the landscape of the law landscape of in each hub. And having this done, we would like to create an impact package. We call it strategic impact package. So having this knowledge, we would disseminate this as a package of documents, containing also an action and investments plan for the future operation of the hubs. And also, as another element of our project, we will implement a joint pilot research project. So having this information about the needs and problems of the stakeholders, we took all expertise of our three hubs, and we defined the problems that we would like also that we hope that you will also help us to resolve by participating in this open call. And we parallel to that, we will also implement our projects that would search the solutions for these defined problems. And this is XR-driven prototypes and services that all we will develop within this project will also be available as the key exploitable results. And as I said, the project is about the hubs. So we would like to create a HERIFORGE Hub network. So all that we are doing now within the project, we will then hope to continue after ending the project as all the mechanism that we will develop during the project, we will continue to operate on this manner after the project is finished. And also guidance for innovation ecosystem. So all our experiences we will also disseminate and share this knowledge, how we created this hub, and how we think this one could create innovation ecosystems. And as I said, also during this joint pilot research progress, we'll also develop a data orchestration platform that would serve as an entry point for all the institutions or companies that would need some assets of digital heritage, for example, so they could find assets and they could use in their applications. Okay, going next. So activities so far, as I said, we did the mapping of hubs ecosystems and did the landscape analysis, and these documents will be disseminated probably in the near future. And we are also now during the phase of joint pilot research program design. So we are, as I said, we define these problems to be solved within the open call projects, but also we will within our project, we will also in each hub will implement pilot project. And as we also prepared these open calls, so that's the last point. And now the information about the next call. So Veronica,
thank you, Mikołaj. So the good news is that the people who are the projects that will be selected during the open calls, you become part of this whole project. So you become part of HERIFORGE as a third associated party to the project. And as you know, we will have 2 open calls. So the first one was launched about 1 month ago, and another one will be next year. So the deadline is the 27th of October. And usually we don't expect, with some of the European projects, you expect that there will be an extension. So with open calls, it's that operate with cascade funding, it's less popular to extend the open calls. So if there is any extensions, it will be like by 1 day or something like that. So don't expect that you will get an extra week to work on your proposal. The dates have been set, as I said, and extension will be by 1 day only. And also just, I'll go back, make sure that you pay attention to the times, because we have countries involved in this project which are in different time zones. So in order to minimize any confusion, we always say that it's Brussels time. So if Brussels changes time from summertime to winter time, just pay attention to it, okay? And we have prepared all the documentation for the open calls. These should be kind of your Bibles. And there are a few steps how you can get to these documents, which would be the terms and conditions, which can be found here under this link on the page description. And also we have FAQs. I haven't updated them yet, but hopefully after this webinar, when we get more questions, we will update this document. At the moment, there are only a few generic questions in the FAQs, okay? As I said, you have the 2 documents, terms and conditions, and also FAQs. If we decide to have any updated version, you will definitely get an email to your inbox that will come from HERIFORGE or from the application system automatically, and it will tell you that, changes have been made, or please check, or anything like that. So just even if you write the application, submit it, just pay attention if there are any updates on that until the deadline. Okay, so in terms of eligibility, as you know, we have a budget to fund up to 6 projects in this first open call. Each will receive up to 50,000 euros. together with technical mentoring of duration of up to 6 months. So we say up to 60K, and usually applicants are pretty good, and they go around that nice number. So you can ask for less, but it's advisable to go very close to the maximum amount. And the types of applicants that we are looking for are individual SMEs, including startups, natural persons, or NGOs. It could be foundations, associations in different countries. They are registered under different names. As I said, we will not be taking live questions. So if you have raised hands, I will not be answering them now. Please include your questions in the chat or in the Q&A option that is in Zoom, okay? I will also provide a little bit more explanation about natural persons and NGOs and the different conditions on the next slides, okay? So just bear with me. So we are looking for innovative projects developing technical solutions in the use of immersive technologies for cultural heritage. The stress being here on technical solutions, so we are not looking for frameworks or methodologies or anything like that. They need to have more of a technical spin. And that's why they are designed mostly for types of applicants that are able to develop this type of technical solutions, okay? In relation to natural persons, as you know, a natural person is not the same as a micro company of self-employed person. We included this option because we know there are many people working in the creative industry who are not registered specifically as a micro company. There are some tax exemptions, like for influencers or creative professionals. So the legal status is quite different to a micro firm. And at the stage of formal check, or even before that, when we do the first in and out of scope screening, we're also going to be looking. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Very important. So I will go back. Okay, I forgot to mention, because it's so obvious to me. I've been working on this project for nearly a year. That the applicants, you need to come from the countries where we are creating these wonderful hubs, okay? So we have Cyprus, Poland, and Turkey, and we are extending the eligibility to other EU and also associated countries. But if you come from any country that is not on the list of the hubs, you will need to demonstrate exactly how you the connection that you have to these hubs, which is something that we call local footprint, okay? So for the companies, it is clear that you can have something like a local office, maybe your company from Greece that has an office in Cyprus. You have many people working in Cyprus, or you've had many projects in Cyprus and so on. And for the natural persons, it will be either their fiscal residence, or all of this is described in the terms and conditions and also in the FAQs. So just read through it, but the kind of the general idea is that if you're not from Turkey, Cyprus, or Poland, you will need to show exactly what is your connection to those countries, okay? There is these examples of presence of local staff, documents, business records, or having one other clear cultural or economic tie to the country. We will be checking this because we need to comply with it. So it has to also be tied to the moment of registration. So if you're an SME, you would need to be registered at the time of applying to this open call. So you cannot have an idea of, like a startup that you want to register maybe in the future and you're applying in advance. That will not work. You need to be a registered company at the time of applying. Okay. And what happens after you submit your application is that it is going to go through a process of different levels of evaluation. And so just be patient with us. It does take about 6 to 8 weeks because we have different phases. So the first check and the first week, it's just going to be checking if you tick all the boxes. It's like, yes, I agree to the terms and conditions, to make sure that all the sections of the application form have been filled out properly, and it's not just lorem ipsum in some of the sections because you forgot to paste the actual text and so on. All the sections need to be filled out in English, and we will be checking that during the first check. And you will get an email if we found that your proposal is ineligible. We then will go through the internal pre-screening, which is something when we read just some of the sections of your application, also including the local footprint. So this is where we're going to determine if you're going forward, if there's enough of connection to the hubs to make your proposal go forward. And this is also very important, especially if we get lots of applications. If we get many applications, we will need to see which ones are the most aligned with our goals. That's why we call it in and out of scope screening. So the selection committee will decide if it is within the scope of what we're looking for or not. And after that, it will go through the independent experts. So we have a group of experts who have been working in both the area of heritage and XR, and they will read more carefully some of the main sections of the application form and score accordingly. So based on those scores, we will invite maybe the 3 top scoring from each challenge to a jury day. And a jury day is just like elevator pitch day, I suppose, where you will have a chance to present your project in front of a jury, and they will ask you some questions. Maybe they need some clarification, just, nice conversation about why you have proposed this project and so on. And based on all the independent evaluation from the experts and the jury day, the selection committee will have a consensus meeting, and they will decide on the finalists. So the independent evaluation, as I said, it is the meat and potatoes of your application. Okay, this is where you need to pay most attention, provide as much detail as you can, without when you're using, I think ChatGPT, the trick is to say, please write whatever 2,000 characters about this topic, no yapping. Okay, so we also want no yapping, just down to the point. There really isn't so many characters to go overboard. You need to go to the point and say exactly what you're going to do in terms of excellence. So how your project goes beyond the current state of the art. You need to show clearly what is the impact, the social, the technical impact, how it is innovative. And also in the implementation part, you need to show why you have a great idea, but also how you're going to implement it. What's your plan to show that you've thought about all the steps and so on. Okay. So as I mentioned, the jury day, it's pretty short but intense day for everyone. For you, it's only 5 minutes of a presentation and then 5 minutes for questions. And these are the kind of criteria that we are going to be looking at, which is the team vision and attitude, the potential project on the project's goals, and also the positive process on your own processes and how it's going to benefit your projects and services. Okay, so we're looking at it quite holistically. I just wanted to mention also in the end that all communication will be sent to the email address that you give as the contact information in your application form. So make sure that it's one that, is not packed with thousands of emails and will be bouncing back and you will not get updates from us. And in terms of complaints, if you have any problems, technical issues. You will need to present like a screenshot of what happened, something didn't work, and so on. And you have 3 days to complain about anything that you feel didn't go quite well. But just take a note that we cannot interfere with the opinions of the experts. Okay, so if you disagree with their opinions, we are not able to take this as a complaint of an error in the process, because it's been set in the terms and conditions. And what is on offer in terms of support program is something that you need to keep in mind because of the cash flow. Okay, so the lump sum projects usually have a very simplified way of the payment. So we are not going to be asking you for invoices, how much you spent on this or that. Okay, in the implementation phase of the section of the application form, you need to explain how you're going to divide your project. And please pay attention also to all the different phases that the project should be divided into, and plan accordingly all of your spendings, but also think about the cash flow. So I know we're offering 50,000 euros, but a lot of the payments comes, 30% comes at the end, and the 50% comes after 4 months. So the payment always comes after you've done the work. So you need to think about your own cash flow. If you're going to employ an extra person to implement this project, then you're going to need to pay them for the work done, and only after the work has been done, approved, and it's up to standard, only then you will be paid. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that this is a great opportunity, but you need to plan accordingly in your other activities as a professional. Okay, and the technical mentoring will also be, of course, included. So it's not just the money, but as I said, you become part of the family, and you will be very much supported in your work. So now we're going to move on to explain the different challenges that have been identified by the consortium, and also what's on offer by the hubs in terms of the resources, because there's lots that you can take advantage of. So I will pass the word to Mikołaj. Back to Mikołaj.
Thank you. And so the Poland Hub Challenge is unlocking interactive stories, XR storytelling, and gamification tools for cultural heritage. So our diagnosis was that in Poland there is a lack of cost-effective tools for the on the one hand for the cultural heritage institutions, and also on the other hand for the companies that would allow them to create easily and cost-effective some solutions using the cultural heritage assets. So the idea is that the creating of such installations and immersive experience is complex, time-consuming, and expensive. And so our challenge is aimed to create an easy-to-use and cost-effective tools that would allow these museums to allow the museums to move beyond the mere attraction or superficial engagement, and create immersive experiences. And so that as highlighted here, we are calling upon innovators to create solutions that would enable transforming static cultural heritage into dynamic, engaging encounters through immersive storytelling, gamification, and interactive engagement. So as I said, the solutions that we are expecting here should enable cultural and creative industry professionals to create immersive gamified experiences and that allow audiences of cultural institutions to actively discover, understand, and interact with cultural heritage. And we are looking also for solutions that could be easily applied in many institutions. So the idea is that the solution that you would develop should be easily applicable in other contexts, in other institutions, in other museum, for example, so that we fill this gap that we identified, this gap of lacking easily cost-effective tools for the GLAM institutions. And also one thing to remember is that we are expecting that the solution developed within for this challenge must be demonstrated with and tested in cooperation with at least one Polish cultural heritage institution. So we are hoping also by this requirement to maybe, let's say, force the collaboration between the business, between the companies and the cultural heritage institutions. So as I said, the solution should be demonstrated and tested with one cultural heritage institution. And to make the implementation of this project easier, Polish Hub have some resources that we would like to offer you offer you. So you can plan. So if you don't have maybe some devices, you don't have cameras or something like that, we have as listed here a multimedia laboratory where we have projectors, screens, lighting. We have multi-speaker installations. We have recording laboratory where we have various microphones, ambisonic microphones. We have video cameras. So all these devices, all these resources could be used within, in our lab, and we have also VR goggles, XR goggles, some haptic devices, EEG sensors. So in case you don't have your own, we can share that for this project with you. And that the condition of this accessing these resources would be then set in the individual mentoring plan. So on the first in the first stage of the implementation of the project, we would then set the exact conditions. But you can in the application form, you can describe how we would like to show, how we would like to use the resources that we have, what time do you need, how long do you need it, and so on. So that's the physical. So that's the devices, let's say, part of the resources. But also we have human resources. So we have expertise in using these devices. So we can help you with scanning of some objects, point clouds, creating 3D models. We can do some LiDAR scanning from drone, and so all the services that are listed here are available for you. And these are also attached to the documents describing the open call. So you can find all these details in the documents that are available on the Funding Box site under our open call tab. And yeah, that's the Polish Hub challenge and Polish Hub resources offer. And now I think, Christis, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mikuláš. I'm still seeing the slide of here. Okay, it's up now. So thank you. I will go through a summary of our challenges here. Our open call is designed to encourage collaboration between XR providers and cultural heritage institutions. The goal is to co-create immersive experiences that will bring cultural heritage to life. We are looking for projects that don't just showcase digital assets, but really integrate them into meaningful interactive stories. To do this, of course, project may use existing 3D models or create new digitalized material. What matters is that the results maintains high visual fidelity, historical accuracy, technical compatibility, and that they follow fair data principles. Of course, any XR modality is welcomed, whether VR, AR, or mixed approaches, so long as it meets the expected benchmarks for quality and reuse. Now, in terms of output, we are expecting a set of clear deliverables. These include technical specifications, of course, for the 3D fidelity and compliance, asset packages and support of probably multiple levels of detail and performance evaluations. Projects should also prepare dissemination of material, for example, as we mentioned in the detailed challenge, a short trailer, and joint report in order to both capture the technical aspects and the collaborative process behind on these two both critical evaluation criteria. On the technical sides, requirements include to capture some targets of the different technical aspects within the limits, of course, of the geometry size, texture, resolution, and latency, and preservation of licensing. It will be important to be within the model so that the results can be sustained and reused in the long term. Finally, in case where an experience is co-produced with a specific museum or heritage institution, I'm raising this point because we already received some questions about this. We acknowledge that transferability may be limited, but here our point is that the KPI museums adopting outputs is designed to encourage teams to think beyond one institution. We want to see methodologies, workflows, and technical components that show some degree of scalability, replicability, adaptability. And that's all from our side.
Thank you, Christis. This is Evren Yantaç from Koç University, Istanbul. Thank you, Mikolaj. For the Turkish hub, we have two different challenges. The first is about reimagining historical rituals. Different than the previous two other hubs, our focus also involves intangible cultural heritage. We focus a little bit more on tangible cultural heritage in addition to tangible cultural heritage. The first challenge is about volumetric intangible representation. That's why it includes splat-based 4D point clouds, which means that the point clouds created to represent human activities mostly, but it doesn't have to be only human activities, for moving objects as well. That's why this has been one of the critical points. Some technical challenges in this area was out there in the state-of-the-art field, XR studies, how to work with splat-based 4D point clouds and publish content, XR content for different platforms, such as mobile augmented reality, pass-through mixed reality, room scale VR. What if we were to create 4D point cloud-based experiences for these different platforms? We want to we want you to focus on this technical problem. We are expecting you to collaborate with domain experts, cultural heritage institutions, or archival partners about rituals, crafts, dances, different types of intangible cultural heritage. So it can involve a dance ritual or a handcrafts ritual, and how you can represent these rituals for archiving and also representing reasons, functionalities. For this challenge, we are expecting you to define the case study, which type of ritual or craftsmanship you want to work on, your own data. So data won't be provided in this challenge. With this, you can also consult with domain experts or cultural heritage institutions on their archives, whether they also have they have data or not, but you can produce your own content, your own data as well. There can be different techniques that can be used: Gaussian splitting, motion capture, depth-based 3D generation can be used. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, the outcome for this project, for this challenge, should involve at least 2 different XR platforms for publishing of the created content, which can be either mobile AR or web AR or VR, fast room reality or room scale VR. You can pick 2 of these and experiment with these 2 different platforms. Can we move on, Nikolai, for the challenge 2? Thank you. The second challenge is again about intangible cultural heritage, but this time we are focusing on more on the material output of the intangible cultural heritage, which might be objects, monuments, and results of handcrafts. So when you digitize, when you 3D scan or LiDAR scan, when you scan archaeological sites or monuments, you create huge data. How you process it and turn into presentable content is one of the challenges. Nowadays, we have more solutions for this, but one technical challenge has been to multiply the outputs to different types of environments. We have given some examples, some from Europe, some from Turkey. For example, you most probably have been experiencing this problem about a 2-wall 8K projection screen or a 4-wall 4K projectors or LED setups with 5 walls. So how can we create content and easily multiply the output into different setups is a challenge the industry has been facing. So we want you to work with some institutions, such venues, and experiment with 2 different, again, environment setups. Doesn't have to be these examples. It's just to give some context. You can find your own experimentation exhibition spaces. But what is important is to experiment with different types of setups and easily output, easily export, easily publish into these different setups. You can use your own software. You can pick your own software. You can use game engines such as Unity, Unreal Engine, and develop solutions for Unity or Unreal Engine. But you can also play with live visual software such as Touch Designer, Notch, or any other software that you find suitable. For this challenge, I've seen some questions in the Q&A as well. We have data that we already have from existing projects of some monuments in Turkey or some archaeological sites. You can get in contact with us and tell us that you want to work with them, work on these kind of projects, but also you can suggest that you will be using your own digitized content, point clouds, or during the project, you are going to produce your own point cloud and experiment with them as well. We can move on, Nikolai. for the last slide. Yes, thank you. We also have some technical resources that you can use in our lab. We have some VR, MR, AR devices, some 360 cameras, motion capture devices. Starting from January, we're going to have a LiDAR scanner that you can use. In bioscience, there's a drone that you can use for 3D scanning of landscapes. We have some storage and workstations that you can also have remote access to for processing the data that you have collected. That's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I know we're running a little bit late. I don't think there's huge amount of questions, but I just want to explain quite quickly, but I think it's like 3 slides, how you can apply to this open call. And there are 2 routes that you can take, okay? So the first one is when you visit the heriforge.eu website, there will be a link to the HERIFORGE first open call. And this will take you to this landing page, which is actually sponsored on the Funding Boxes application system, I suppose you could call that. And here you will apply now, okay? And if you go go back through the Funding Box website, and you go to fundingbox.com and click on opportunities. It will take you also to our kind of like a hub. We have a list of all the different open calls that we have currently running, and they will also take you to this particular site for HERIFORGE first open, where then you will be asked to log in. You can do that with Google. I think the sign in with Funding Boxes option is gone now, so you won't be confused anymore. Just sign in with Google or LinkedIn, and you will see this site where there is a link to the FAQs, to the webinar, and so on. And here you need to click First Open Call, and this will take you now to the steps where you can create the application form. So the only thing I wanted to let you know is that there's like a tiny lapse of time. It takes just like more than a second to load, but it should be visible here. When you have a created application, it should be here already visible in my application. So when you click See Details, that's where you will be able to edit it. So you don't need to create a new application every time, because then you'll be lost in like which ones was I editing, and then it's just, you don't want to be eliminated, because if we find, let's say, 3 different applications from the same applicant or the same username for the same challenge, we are only going to look at the one that is closest to the deadline, because our thinking is that let's say you were working on a draft and then you decided to create something newer, something better, right? Closer to the deadline. So only the closest one to the deadline will be taken into consideration. So just please don't create a new application every time. Just give it time to like load, and then you will see your application. What's inside the application is you have many different sections about the basic information, some of the legal information, so like your registration number, if you want to give it. You need to select the particular challenge. Then, as I said, is the 3 main sections, which is the excellence, impact, and implementation. Then we just ask you a few questions of how did you hear about this open call? And what's important is the declaration of honor. So you need to tick all the boxes that are there to make sure that you agree with all of the conditions of the open call. And after that, you have a button that lets you review or submit the application. And here you will see that if there are some red points, it will not allow you to submit the application. Okay, this will be grayed out, and it will tell you need to go to this section because you didn't address a question that was obligatory because it had a start next to it. So it's quite difficult that you will submit an application where all the questions have not been answered. but just make sure that you double check everything. In terms of the upcoming events, as I said, I just left here some blank spaces because it might appear that like the open call has still 1 month to go. We might have more webinars in Polish, and especially for the all of the hubs, maybe they will have local webinars, but these have not been identified yet. If there's anything new, it will be published on the HERIFORGE website, and we will have one more webinar on the 14th of October. As I said, 27th of October is the deadline. If we extend the open call, it will be like by 1 day only, so don't expect an extra week. Then one important date will be jury days, because all of the evaluation will be happening kind of backstage, so you will not be involved in that section, or we will be doing that. But then for jury days, we will be inviting people to present their projects, so you would need to be available for those few minutes of your time. And the start of the support program is more or less January. So think about it. I know it's only September, but we're planning that towards January. So next year will be the time when the implementations of the project start. If you need access to a certain site during the spring, and the data collection is in month 3, then you need to plan it. Okay. So that's it. And there will be another open call in August of 2026. And thank you for your attention. And I think I need to go to the question section now. As I said, you can always write an email to the help desk. And we also have a newsletter on the HERIFORGE website where you will hear about all the developments in the project. And we have only 2 minutes for the questions, but I'll try to address them all. Let me just go back to the start. Welcome. Okay, will it be possible to view the video later? Yes, the video will be recorded, and we will send a link to all of the people who registered for this webinar. Okay, then we have hello. We are Creative Studio XR, developing AR, VR, and AR solutions for culture. Recently, we created AR application that brings exhibitions to life. There's a link. And we also develop solutions to revive history, museums, and different ways. That looks like you're the perfect type of applicant. Okay, there's more information about the type of applications they use. So our solutions work on all devices as web-based experiences that are fast and easy to use, and we also create modern applications for Meta Quest 3. We are interested in becoming a technical partner for Cultural Institutions Hub, and there is an email here. So I'm not sure how to answer this question. If you want anyone else to get in contact and maybe create something together, then there's an email here. There are greetings from Negantra. Okay, there's a question from Mikołaj. Would you like to visit Turkey as part of the project? We might want to work on creating 3D models in Turkey using your scanning devices and drones. We also have experience with drone photogrammetry. We might also want to scan ancient objects with LiDAR. Or can we visit Poland as part of the project?
I would say the latter options is more possible, because I don't know if I stress this enough, but the use of the laboratories. These are laboratories in our headquarters, so to say, and so no, I don't think our visit to Turkey for some scanning is possible. But if you would like to come to our laboratories, you are welcome. So the latter options is possible. Yeah.
Okay. I think there are more questions in the Q&A. So if we don't get the chance to answer them, I don't want to keep you for too long. Okay. We will answer them. You can still, if you didn't get a chance to get your question answered, you can email us. or I will include it in the next webinar, which will be more Q&A based. I will not be repeating all of the information about the challenges, okay? Okay, so let's just take another 5 minutes, okay? And there's a question, are the challenges completely separate, or can there be a combination of challenges in the priorities of a proposal? No, the answer is that they are separate. So I know that in some open calls, you can select like a priority, maybe what is your top choice institution, second, third choice. There's nothing like that here. I think they're very different as well. So it would be quite difficult to address, kill two birds with the same stone. And also to increase your chances, I would focus on one challenge. I think only Turkish applicants can, present two different projects, very different projects for the same challenge. So we do allow more than one application. You can have up to two, but it so happens that only one of the hubs has two challenges. So you can take advantage of that. Also, the support offered by country teams, where can we find these? In the format offered by Poland, for example. Thank you in advance. So yes, we will be including that soon. We will provide an update to the list of challenges and the resources. So we will include the one from the Turkish Hub. I don't know if Cyprus has anything to add about the resources. Christis, do you know?
The resources, yeah, we do provide a list of 3D models.
Okay.
We already included in the challenge document.
Okay, so they are already in the Cyprus challenge description of what's on offer, so the types of things you can use, but we will include it as a separate list, which might be easier for you to read as well, okay? And if we apply from Turkey, do we propose a project regarding Turkey's challenges? It makes more sense. Otherwise, you will need to provide a strong evidence how you are tied to the target hub. So if you have any strong collaboration between the other countries, like maybe between Turkey and Poland, you have something in common, then you could possibly have that kind of crossover. But it makes more sense that you kind of apply to the challenge from your own country because of the cultural salience. Let's put it that way.
And also the demonstration is tied to the in case of Polish challenge, the demonstration is tied to the Polish cultural institutions, right? So it's if you can also collaborate with some Polish institution, that would be possible, right? But we don't. You shouldn't forget this, that the demonstration is meant to be in Poland.
Yeah, so the clear answer is that it should rather be involving the country of your residence where you are registered, so your own challenge. Will the project application involve 3 partners, and will it be from 3 countries? Could you please explain? I don't understand this question, to be honest. If you could email help desk and explain in more sentences, then maybe I will be able to address that. I would like to ask, okay, so that's probably the last questions I'll take. I would like to ask if a natural person as a professional can apply to HERIFORGE with an artistic idea, a form of installation XR, for example, with its technical solution, or is it needed for the candidates to apply it with the technical idea instead, of course, with solutions? I think you should read the description of the challenges, and is it more focused on the artistic idea or the technical solution? Mikołaj, what is your take on this?
Could you say me what was the time of this question?
2:58.
2:50 in the chat, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, so hello, and first of all, right? That's the start. One more. Yeah, in case of Polish challenge, the idea is to develop some tools, right? So it's more like I would say the second option. So we more had in mind a scenario that maybe some company have an idea to create some tools for that would enable, for example, a artistic professional or glam institution professional to create some installations and experiences. So I would say that would be the ideal. I think the ideal scenario. So that would be my answer to this question. So more like technical companies looking for collaborators among the GLAM institutions to showcase their tool that they developed or would like to develop.
Right. So I don't think.
But Evren, maybe that was question for you.
Two key questions from Cyprus, and I believe the one you can also help me answer. Can multiple XR producer partner up along with one or more CHI for this proposal, for this open call?
No, we had that discussion, and it's only single entity because we are not offering big grants to create consortia. So realistically, it should be one technology provider partnering up with a culture heritage that will institution that will provide the data or the site for the implementation. So it's single entity applicants.
Thank you. And I'm answering also to one last question that I see here. Does Cyprus Challenge also supports intangible heritage objects? Yes, if primarily includes also a 3D monument or building so that the intangible asset somehow plots to the interactive story, meaningful story. Yeah.
Any other questions? Evren, did you notice any questions for Turkey that you'd like to address?
There has been a question about which archaeological site or sites we can share the data for. I think we have multiple different options for that. That would be better if you can get in contact with us so that we can give you more detail on that. But then there has been a question by Dorgaker. Is the budget including VAT? If yes, how is it calculated for applicants from different countries with different VAT rates? Do we have an answer for this, Veronica?
Repeat.
1607.
With the VAT, that would be what for purchases? I think you should maybe send us an email because it's a pretty complex questions, and I could include some links to how the calculations of the typical, Marie Curie grants is calculated. So you will have like a breakdown of more or less what to expect. I think, hello, I'm a natural person applicant who has fingerprint in Turkey and has no fingerprint in Poland. If I would like to apply to Poland's challenge, is getting letter of intent for demonstration from of the sites enough Poland would be enough. I don't think so. I think it has to be a track record up till now to show that you already have some kind of footprint and that you're planning to have a footprint. Okay, so it will have to be something you've done to date, not that you're planning only now. Okay, so the footprint has to be already existing. Right, that's great. So I think we're going to finish now. I know we've passed a little bit the time. If your questions were not answered, please email the help desk. We will try to reply to you, and I will try to also include all of the questions in the Q&As, so other people who have the same doubts can refer to those. Thank you for all the speakers for being here, for supporting us, and we will have another webinar in about less than a month. And good luck to all the applicants. We are looking forward to your groundbreaking, creative projects, and thank you all, and goodbye.